As he comes in to grab hold, and I'm immediately up here to open him up. Now my knife hand, I'm pulling down on this elbow as I'm coming over top. I sweep it across as he comes back to this side, and up in our first knife hand. Now from here, as I throw this spear hand, I'm coming over the shoulder, grabbing. Turn this way so you guys can see. Here, get my kimura. Alternating sides to start to pull him across. Side kick to a new opponent. Now, I don't feel like I can get the kimura from here because I just pulled him to this backside. So I step down, and I'm gonna elbow over top. So as I get to here, I'll turn it so you guys can see better. Here, step down, boom! Elbow or forearm right on the back of the neck here as I control. Okay, this next sequence, we're gonna start with the big flying side kick and Chung move, which to me is very reminiscent of, I believe it was Fabrizio Verdum who used to lead off his fights with this, which I really enjoyed the idea of just starting your fight with a bang, where you're just coming in here, boom, right? Laying in that big flying side kick. And what's cool about it is you don't lose anything if it doesn't land. You get the chance to do this big shot, but then you also start in this inside space, which is wonderful. So I'm gonna start here ready to go. And as soon as he comes in, I'm heading inside position, and I'm gonna turn him to get my knee strike here. Okay, in forms, in my opinion, if you are changing directions, it's one of three things that must be occurring. Otherwise, why would I take these steps? Either I am taking a step because I am moving them, often correlated with some sort of a throw or setting them up for a follow-up technique. Two, I am doing some sort of an angle change to get a better access to my opponent. But sometimes it's also legitimately dealing with another opponent. And to me, Chung move feels like that. It feels a little bit like a bar fight. There's a lot of very quick, aggressive techniques in it. And after I do this knee strike, so I'm here, now as somebody starts to come in and grab me from behind, I'm turning here, boom. Now I follow up this roundhouse kick to the turning back kick. All right, so now that I did this attack to this guy, go roundhouse kick, turning back kick, his buddy comes in now. One of two things is occurring. Either I'm fighting two different opponents, which is possible because remember, we're treating this almost like a bar fight where there's a lot going on. Or I throw this high roundhouse kick and it, boom, it moves him this way. Very likely reason. He follows it up, come back in front now, with a descending attack. Boom. So I'm coming in here. Now, generally, this is treated as a staff block, which I would never use that in a fight against somebody who's wielding a staff. But we're treating arm techniques as if they are unarmed and vice versa. Whenever I do my forms and I do my analysis of it, I always like to treat it as unarmed attacks. So instead of treating this like somebody hitting me with a staff, which I would never use this, instead I'm gonna come in here, this high block. Now, the reason I might be doing this is to start setting up something like my Americana, okay? In this case though, I would like to be able to strike to this side where he's open. This side's covered up tight so I can't get to it, but he throws this roundhouse kick. Now this is where, I'm gonna be honest, some of this technique is a little bit of making a round peg fit a square hole. There's not a lot of justification for this. And I kind of hate this technique. It's artistic, it's pretty, but it's not very functional. And I like functionality in my forms. So the best that I can use for this for, and I'm being totally honest, there's a little bit of bullshitting going on this to make this fit, but why would I jump and spin in place? So we gotta treat this for a couple different reasons. So if I'm spinning in place, one of the reasons that can be is if he's throwing a roundhouse kick, give me a roundhouse kick, boom, I throw my turning back kick. I'm rotating through that defense. That is a thing that we normally do. Very, very standard practice. So from here, I'm jumping because I need to do this movement in place because I want to do a follow-up attack, attacking this side, but I want to also rotate. Does that make sense? So as it comes in here, boom, he throws this roundhouse kick, boom, and I attack on this side. So I'm jumping in place and doing that spin. The jump is just to keep me in place so that otherwise, what happens is either I'm here, go ahead and give me that roundhouse kick here, here, and I lose it, or I come forward, right? It just, if I want to maintain this space, I have to do it in this spot. So the only way to do that is jumping, almost like if I'm doing a jumping, turning back, right? Same kind of concept. So one more time, he comes in here, does the roundhouse kick, and I do this knife hand to this side of the face. Now I immediately go into the next sequence. So I'm gonna turn this way to show this next sequence so you have a better view of it. But we just got done here. Come forward, right foot forward. He just ended with this roundhouse kick, and I ended up here. So now I'm gonna frame, groin strike, grab. I'm grabbing his thigh because that would be nice. And I'm doing a push-pull, right? However, my contingency is that if he doesn't fall, which often doesn't happen with this, I'm here, I grab the groin, doing damage. He comes through, I step in and I grab his lapel here. Now, I might even grab on this side or I might even overhook. Depends on the situation. But in any case, I'm gonna start threatening a choke and I rotate around. And as I do so, I strike through, trap, and strike again. So it's, as I've got my lapel choke, I'm rotating him, turn, trap, and strike across. Okay, so once again, we're finishing up with this multiple opponent situation. Josh is gonna start here on this side, actually. So after I finish knocking this guy back, I'm gonna come in with two side kicks. Boom, boom, I'm knocking him back. Getting him hopefully out of the way, or maybe even finish him if I'm lucky. But now once again, I gotta deal with somebody coming in from behind. So come on over here. So as soon as I throw my side kick, I see this out of the corner of my eye. So I'm coming in here and I'm getting my lapel choke and I'm threatening this, trying to get to a cross collar choke. He grabs my sleeves. So now I step in and I start raising him up this way, creating a lock. Now he draws back his hand to punch, upper block, grab, and start to pull through. He's gonna rotate around, and as he does, we finish the form with this nice knockout punch, okay? I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.